What is up, Nerd Nation? It's your boy Hunter here from Film Nerd TV, and tonight we are debuting a new segment on this Film Nerd TV channel called Nerd Rewind, where we pretty much talk about movies that we haven't reviewed, older movies, or movies that we just want to talk about. And tonight we are doing it for the 2016 film Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I'm joined by my co-host Chant Ellison. How's it going, brother?
Yeah, you literally asked me like, hey, you want to review a movie? I'm like, yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, apparently I'm the resident co-host on this channel. What's up, Nerd Nation?
Yeah.
Happy to talk some Fantastic Beasts. Which let me just say, that title is 1 hour away from being my favorite movie of all time. Breasts and Where to Find Them.
Oh. We're already going there, man. We're already going there.
You gotta get that joke out of the way first.
God damn it. Pretty much, this is going to be our spoiler. So, spoiler alert.
By now.
Yeah. By now, if you haven't seen it, then you probably aren't watching this or don't even fucking care. So, pretty much, as always, pros, cons, some interesting facts, our favorite moments, and then a rating out of 5 stars. So why don't you start with one of your pros for Fantastic Beasts?
Yeah, well, first of all, my first pro I'm going to throw out there, it's kind of a polarizing thing. I actually really like Eddie Redmayne in this movie. He plays Newt Scamander. I think he's really good. You can tell like he really cares about these animals. Okay, I know Eddie Redmayne can get on people's nerves, and I'd be lying if I didn't say why. It's like Terrence Howard. It's his voice. Either you're fine with his voice or you're really annoyed by it. I'm okay with it. And yeah, I think I really like seeing Eddie Redmayne in this universe. I think he fits perfectly in the Harry Potter verse, and yeah, I think he was a good choice as Newt Scamander.
Oh yeah, man. Like, I actually had him on my pros as well. Is one, I can't think of anyone else I would cast, instead of him, to be honest. I feel like he brings such a unique character to this character of Newt Scamander, because you can tell he really does have a loving heart for these animals, and especially the scene where they're searching his bag and they take the animals. He's like, "Don't hurt them. They're not dangerous. Don't hurt them. They're not dangerous." And he just keeps screaming that, which you can tell the passion that he has for these animals. And like, one of my favorite scenes in this entire movie is where they go into the suitcase and you see that huge world of different animals and, different beasts and all that stuff. Just that world was so cool looking.
No, absolutely. And I did think that was a really cool effect. On like, you could see it like on their faces, just like, wow, this is well, in pardon my use of the word, fantastic. You go next.
Okay, I'm gonna start off with just a basic one. I love Colin Farrell in this movie.
Yeah, he's good. He's really good.
Colin Farrell, I think, is one of the most, how do I put it?
Underrated?
Underrated, yes, thank you. Underrated actors, because every performance he's in, even if it's a horrible movie, he's always the best part of it. I thought he was the best part of the 2003 Daredevil movie, but that's just me. But
yeah, absolutely.
And he just brings this. You're not sure if he's good. You're not sure if he's bad. He's kind of walking that line a little bit, and he plays it so perfectly, especially with the scenes he has with Ezra Miller's character, where it's like that scene in the on the streets where he's like, "Am I a freak? Am I different?" And he's like, "No, you're not. They should be afraid of us, not the other way around."
No, yeah, exactly. And I echo that. Like, it's be on my pros list too. I really do like Colin Farrell in this movie. I don't like the director take this character, which we can get to that later, but
yeah,
he plays this character really well, and kudos on his American accent.
Yeah, for real. All right, so go ahead and say your next pro?
Another pro I want to throw out there. I'm a sucker for good creature design. Like I like seeing like
Yes.
creative monsters and stuff like that. And yeah, like some of the creatures in this movie are really damn cool. They look really creative. Like that one he's trying to get to Arizona was really cool.
Yeah.
The gold monster, I can't remember what it was called. The one that was tracking the coins.
I love that little dude. He's always causing mayhem.
Yeah, he was cool. The monkey thing, the serpent in the teacup.
The giant lizard in the small teacup.
Yeah, exactly. That was cool. So, like the creation in this movie, I think they were designed really well, and I liked them a lot.
Yeah. So on to mine now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first going off of yours, I do like the creature designs. Sometimes I could tell the CGI was a little weak, but it didn't take anything away from me because, again, like in the original Harry Potter, I got immersed in this world. And I want to go back to this world. I want to see more of this world. I want to see more of these characters and, just the character played by Dan Fogler. Is that how you say his last name?
That's how you say his name.
I forgot the character's name.
I believe it was Jacob. I can't remember his last name.
Yeah, it's Jacob. His character I absolutely love, especially the ending where he has to, he's walking in the rain where the potion is, where it completely erases his mind. It does the Men in Black laser thing, and
yeah,
like it's weird because you don't get a lot of time with him and Newt's character.
right.
You feel their bond, especially the ending where
Totally.
he's like, "You're my friend." Like you can tell like he was his only friend. He was Newt's only friend because Newt's really like socially awkward and like really closed off, but he really opens up when it comes to Jacob and all his problems and stuff like that. And when he, has decided to go in the rain and completely wiped his memory, I felt that emotionally because it's like, no, I don't want to see him, leave, or I don't want to see him forget about his friends or stuff like that, So it pulled me in, which is another thing about the characters that I loved.
Right. And yeah, like I love Dan Fogler also. He was, in my opinion, he stole the movie. And really he stole the movie just by reacting to shit.
Yeah.
He's essentially like he's the viewer's window into this movie, and like he reacts like you would react in that situation. Yeah. And yeah, the dude did a good job. I'm glad they're bringing him back in the sequel. Spoiler alert.
Oh, are they?
But yeah, they are. He's coming back for part 2, which I'm so happy about
good.
that because I do like the chemistry between him and Newt, the rest of the cast. I thought it was great. Next one I want to throw out there. I like the ideas they introduce. The fact that they're introducing the idea of Grindelwald and the secret Wizarding War and Edith Lestrange. They set up a lot of really interesting things in this movie, and things as like a Harry Potter fan. I've read all the books. I even read the book that was based on Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. There's a lot of things in the initial series that they couldn't delve into more that I wish they did, and it looks like they're doing that with this Fantastic Beasts series. So yeah, I thought that was cool. I thought it was a cool aspect.
Can I bring up something based on that? Like being a huge Harry Potter fan, to be honest, I've never read the books. I read the first book, I believe, but like I fell in love with the movies at a young age. And every year for Christmas, which I'm gonna do it this year, I go back and I watch all 7, 8 movies with my family. That's something that we do as a tradition. Hell, we're doing a Harry Potter themed Christmas this year, if that tells you anything. But I love the little subtle Easter eggs of the Harry Potter world they're setting up, and how this movie stands on its own and throws little Easter eggs at you, but you still fall in love with these characters. It's not just, oh, look, Harry Potter. Oh, look, Harry Potter. No. Like, you get a name drop of Dumbledore here, or you get, something that leads into something here, but it doesn't flood the movie with references. It's like, no, this is about one character and his journey to America, and the whole story and connecting with these characters. I like how it didn't have to really rely on the Harry Potter references all the damn time.
No, exactly. Like this is really able to stand on its own. It was really able to be its own movie.
Yeah, and that's what I love is like when something that's a part of the Harry Potter world can stand on its own as a good movie. Like someone who hasn't watched the Harry Potter movies, they can watch this movie and they can still understand the entire story throughout. It's one continuous story.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that was your pro?
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and mine kind of ties in with what you were talking about, like the story that they built. And I love the idea of the wizards versus the humans, and how it was more of like, I don't know if I should say this, but more of kind of like the racial issues, the blacks versus the whites.
Essentially, yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah, is what it is.
And it's like that one family is like passing out the flyers of like, oh, we must, hang all witches, and that little girl's song is so fucking creepy, where she's like,
Yeah.
two witches will burn, one will hang, something like that.
Yeah, it was like, why are you singing like that one witch? Why can't they all burn?
Yeah. One has to hang.
That just makes more work for you.
Yeah,
that just makes more work for you. That doesn't make. Like, I mean, if you want to do it, I can't stop you.
No, but
still kind of productive.
But I do like how they really delve deep into, no, wizards and humans do not have peace, and this is the kind of the start of that, where it's like, no, there's a war going on, and it's not just between wizards and other wizards. It's between the human world and the wizard and the wizarding world, and how someone like that would fit in between, like, what side are you on? Like, Ezra Miller's character, it seems like to me that, like, the family that he's in is like anti-wizards, anti-witches and stuff. But on the other side, you can tell, like, either he is one and he's hiding it, or he really does care about the wizards, like, deep down,
Yeah, and it's like, if these events and events of, like, we're gonna have the next film, like, it makes you understand why wizards decided to go into hiding.
Yeah,
like they were a little more public, and then, like, as humanity gradually turned against them, they kind of went into hiding. And I guess this movie really illustrates, like, why that is what it is. And I think putting this decision, like, this being in the I believe it's 1930s, there's 1920s.
I believe it's 1930s, but I can double check real quick. Yeah,
and I think
sorry.
36. Yeah, that's what I thought. Putting this in the 30s, where you have things like racial discrimination going on, also, I think this is a really good. I think the time period for this movie really helped with that.
Oh yeah, it did, and that's one thing that I do love about the world that it built is, this isn't America. This is not in, like, Hogwarts.
Well, this is America.
Huh?
Well, no, this is America. That's kind of the point of the movie.
No, I'm talking about, like, how the Harry Potter movies usually take place in Hogwarts. We don't really get to see what happens.
That was in England.
In the human world as much. This one takes place in the humans' world. It takes place in America, in New York City. I like that kind of aspect of, what would humans think about wizards? What would their mindsets be about it if they see all the destruction, all the chaos, stuff like that,
Oh, yeah, exactly. And also on that point, yeah, you mentioned that, like, we saw Harry Potter we saw the world of Harry Potter through the eyes of kids. Now we're seeing it through the eyes of adults and in the past, and you understand, like, it's a totally completely different point of view.
Oh yeah, without doubt. So go ahead and give another one of your pros if you have any more.
Any more of my pros? Yeah, this is it's a it's an aspect of film that people overlook a lot. I really like the production, the costume design. Like it looks like this movie looks incredible. Like it looks like the 1940s. It feels like the 1940s. Everything in this movie, like it's I like the period piece aspect to it. And I think like production design, the costume, hair, makeup. It feels very vintage, and I like that.
Yeah, I do too. I like how you could tell like some stuff was CGI and some stuff seemed practical effects.
Yeah.
Which I do like that balance of CG and practical, because I think it just looks better to the eyes. But yeah, I do like how the whole costume design, the whole set, especially inside that suitcase, which I love the fact that why am I forgetting? Jacob's character gets stuck halfway through in the briefcase. He has to like hop and try to get himself through there.
Yeah, exactly. That was interesting because like that's how a person would do it. It's like I don't know if I'm gonna fit.
Yeah, and he's like he gets stuck. He's like, oh seriously?
Yeah,
that
was a fun moment.
Like this is I guess would be a mini pro. The comedy really works when it's sprinkled in. The comedy really works for me. You know, I found myself laughing throughout the entire movie.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, that comedy. The comedy in this movie is actually really good.
Especially like from the Jacobs character, who seemed to be kind of like the human eyes of what what a human would see when he sees the wizards. So he's our eyes, but he's also the comic relief. And I feel like in a movie that's kind of dark, like really dark at some points, to have that chemistry between Newt and Jacob, and have their banters back and forth, and to have that comedy sprinkled in really does help break up the movie a little bit, and really makes it a really fun movie to sit down and watch.
Yeah, totally. Like I think this movie's actually I think it's rewatchable. I think you can watch. You can you have nothing to do. You have 2 hours to kill in an afternoon. Put on Fantastic Beasts. Have a good time.
Yeah, like I did today. I actually watched it for the first time today on HBO. So.
Yeah, exactly.
So I had like 2 hours to spare. I was like, well, why not put it on? And I just couldn't put it down. I had so much fun with it. I do have one more pro to go. I mean, if you don't have any more.
Okay. No, I'm out. You can go ahead.
And I kind of talked about it last time. The chemistry between the actors and the characters worked really well for me. Like the semi-relationship between Jacob and what's that blonde-headed lady's name? Queenie. Yeah. I loved their chemistry because, she can read his mind, and, you get funny banter with quit reading my mind. And then they just the whole chemistry between those two is really good. Newt and Jacob have really good chemistry as friends, especially at the end when he drops his suitcase and gives him the eggs as collateral for Jacob's store, his bakery.
I did like the moment where he's initially at the bank. He's like, the bank needs some kind of collateral. What do you have? I got donuts.
Yeah. See, I have food. I'm a baker. This is what we do.
Yeah. Anything with Dan Fogler, I really enjoyed in this movie.
Yeah, I did too. He was one of the best parts of the movie. And just the whole chemistry between the actors and the characters just seemed really, really good to me. So that's really my last pro. I had a lot of them, but let's go on to some cons. Start with yours.
Cons?
Yep.
Okay. My first con is I do think it's a very fun movie. I don't think the pacing is always there because through that first act, and then once you get to the sister's house, the apartment, whatever, goes down it kind of grinds to a halt.
Yeah.
And it keeps going. It speeds up, then slows down. Speeds up, then slows down. The pacing, I think, is very uneven in this movie. I think I dragged it down a bit for me personally.
Yeah, I have this exact same thing as my con is the pacing issues. To me, I didn't notice them as much until I went back and remembered, oh, there was some slow points, and there was, it really did drag down some parts. But to me, it's a minor nitpick because I had fun throughout the movie. So the movie never felt to me as like I was, this is work trying to get through this movie, and when's this movie gonna end? No, I enjoyed this movie. I actually wanted to see a little bit more of this movie at the end because I didn't want it to end. But yeah, there were some like patient issues where it slowed down a little bit, but not enough to like where you're, waiting for this movie to end or anything. Because I didn't want it to end.
Right.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and go with one of my cons, which is that family side story that they were trying to go with the mayor and the president or whatever. I couldn't get into that family story, and it seemed like it took up a lot more time than it should have, in my opinion. Because it's like, one, the father's a dumbass because, one, you see wizards and you see weird shit happening, and you have a family eyewitness, and you're just like, nope, get him out. Get him out of here. Dude, I would run with that story.
No, exactly. And that's one of my cons too. I think there's a few too many subplots in this movie, and that's one of them. I feel like you don't need to devote as much time to that as you do there, but I don't think it doesn't tie together in the neatest of ways.
The what?
Like, it does tie together in the end, but it doesn't tie together in the neatest of ways.
Yeah.
Per se, and I think as far as like that story goes, I do think it drags on a little too long, which is why the movie feels a little longer than it is.
Yeah.
So that's kind of I go back to pacing. That kind of kills the pacing for me.
Yeah, I agree. Personally. All right, so you have any more?
Yeah, I do have a few more. First of all, a lot with obscurials in this movie. Now, I know what obscurial is because I know Harry Potter and I read the books. I don't think they explain what obscurial is as well as they could because of a non-reader. I don't think they'll be able to pick it up. It might take them a few watches. It might take them some explaining. I feel like if you put someone who's not a big fan of Harry Potter in front of this movie, they'll just be like, okay, I don't know what obscurial is. I didn't know what obscurial was. I still don't know what obscurial is. I think they explained that as well as they could have.
Yeah, it's more about. Well, the thing is, like, if they would have just, like, as you pointed out, really explained it better or explained it more into depth, I feel like a lot more people would understand what it is.
Yeah. And that essentially means that the villain of this movie is a big CGI cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's another thing. The villain in this movie is kind of the first one is a big black cloud. It kind of falls flat for me.
Yeah,
especially because like your Harry Potter, the last villain you had in your franchise was Voldemort, one of the greatest villains in cinematic history, and you follow that up with a black cloud and a plot twist, which we'll get to in a second.
Yeah. Like, the reason I didn't have that as one of my cons is because again, I go back to. All right, let me try to explain this in a way where villains do matter, but if you can make me care even more about the main characters and care more about the heroes, then I can look away of like, kind of a weak villain in a way. That's why I didn't have it on my cons, because the main characters, Newt, Jacob, all of them, they really carried this movie for me and made me enjoy this movie and have so much fun with it that at the end of the movie, I didn't really notice that it was a big fart cloud or that, whatever. I knew I had fun with these characters and that, the villain is kind of weak, but at the end of the day, I mean, the real villain was actually Colin Farrell. But
yeah, keep talking. I'll get to that in a second.
yeah, because that's actually the next one, next kind of my list. But that's why I don't have it in my cons, because I can kind of look past it a little bit. But yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from.
Got any other cons, Hunter?
Huh?
Any other cons?
Oh yeah, the stupid plot twist ending.
That's one of mine too. Okay, let me just.
No, I mean, I love Johnny Depp as an actor, but holy crap, man! Did you really have to kind of shoehorn that in? And the thing is, I don't. All right, shoehorn is kind of a strong word because they're trying to set up a sequel.
It's accurate.
And I understand that, but one, I love Colin Farrell so much in this movie, and now he's completely gone. The character's gone because it was never him to begin with. It's always Johnny Depp's character. I kind of wish, like, I was watching Collider and they said something interesting. I would much rather seen the two, like, what's his name, Grindelwald. Like his character and Colin Farrell's character team up for the second movie. Then you have two great actors
that would have been better.
Teaming up, which would be incredible. But now, Colin Farrell's character, all that shit that he did pretty much means nothing anymore.
Yeah, you can't, unless you put I don't know, he was in one of the magic suitcases. Or one of those magic suitcases like Mad Moody was in Goblet of Fire. You can't bring him back.
Yeah,
he's gone, and that's one of my cons too. You have Colin Farrell, who he was great in the movie. We both said, and then you take his character out for a plot twist that he was actually
twist.
It was actually Grindelwald the entire time. Was that reveal? That reveal irked me in the theater. It was just like, wait a minute, okay. I have seen they've had picked images of young Grindelwald in the movie before. That I'm just like, I think that in my head, I remember what he looked like as a kid. I see Johnny Depp. I'm like, okay, you showed him before. You showed him what he looks like before. Who's this guy?
Yeah, he had the bleached hair and
bleached hair. He had two different colored eyes. I'm just like,
yeah.
Why? Why do you gotta make Johnny Depp do this?
But I do like the fact that hopefully that this character is not going to be one of Johnny Depp's over the top, eccentric, Jack Sparrow type characters.
I don't know. Look, I don't like when Johnny Depp goes super over the top, and nothing screams Johnny Depp over the top more than putting a freaking wand in his hand.
Just you saying that kind of makes me want to see it now. Like Johnny Depp, just Expecto Patronum, bitch.
Well, we're getting that in the sequel.
But yeah, that's really all my cons.
Yeah, that's all mine too.
Okay, so why don't we go ahead and give a rating out of 5 stars? Why don't you start and give your rating, your overall thoughts?
Out of 5. Yeah, overall, I think this is a flawed movie, but I think it's very fun. I think people who are fans of Harry Potter will enjoy it. I enjoyed it. I don't quite enjoy this as much as I think if you're looking at it, the Harry Potter scale, I think it's around the middle. I don't think it's quite the worst. I don't think it's I think they set up some interesting things. I think they have some really good elements in this movie. I think I give it a solid 4 out of 5. I think it's a good movie.
Okay, see, I'm a little higher than you, but just because, all right, Fantastic Beasts, I had so much fun with. As he keeps pointing out, this movie it has issues, but to me, there's minor issues over the big, how much enjoyment I had with this movie, especially being a Harry Potter fan. I got the references. I got immersed in this world, and I want to see more of it. I love the characters. I love the actors. The chemistry was there for me. The CGI and the Beast worked, looked incredible. I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5. I enjoyed this movie. So, yeah. So, he gave it a 4. I gave it a 4.5. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. All right, guys. First, Chance, you want to go ahead and plug your stuff real quick?
Yeah, as always, Full Metal Trivia. Check us out, Facebook, and Full Metal Trivia on YouTube, and Chance the Critic on YouTube.
All right, there we go. There we go. So, guys, remember, if you enjoyed this content, hit that like button, subscribe to Film Nerd TV, and check out Patreon, patreon.com/FilmNerdTV. I'm Hunter. I'm a film nerd. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.